For Randy Lambert of Shreveport, he sees his life like a blues song coming together, lyric by lyric, riff by riff. But about a year ago, that needle scratched right across his record. A doctor diagnosed him with cancer, but Randy is still making beautiful music. And fortunately, an old friend heard his life-saving melody just in time.
Yeah, they say the blues, the blues are depressing. Well, not for me. It's got me through the best times, the worst of times.
The best of times for Randy Lambert of Shreveport, no doubt. His years spent working with the Shreveport City Marshal's office and that other job, playing with blues bands across the Arklatex and beyond. And of course, during those years, meeting the king of blues himself.
Like a dork, I was like, I'm your biggest fan. That's all I could say.
And the worst of times, without question, came not long before I paid him this visit in March a year ago.
He didn't smooth it over or nothing, he just bam.
Randy's high note on life was quickly soured when a doctor diagnosed him with stage 4 colon cancer.
The original prognosis, they gave me about 4 years, to live.
You see, a year ago, I was all set to introduce Randy and his long cancer fight ahead to all of you, and how his friends were just days away from hosting a fundraising concert in his honor. That story was set to air March 12th. It never aired, and that event never happened because the day before, March 11th, a worldwide pandemic was declared.
I have what I call a good week and, not so great week sometimes. And
now, a year later, as his friends prepare to give that grand event another go.
The neuropathy in my fingers that I have now, it's numb from the fingertips up. So I can't really feel the strings anymore like I used to.
And while his guitars now hang silent, unfortunately, his cancer continues to march to a beat of its own.
It's metastasized over into my liver. And that's really what I'm fighting, is liver cancer.
And Randy's original and unnerving diagnosis of 4 years to live is now, realistically, according to his doctors, more like 9 months.
I can go in my bedroom, turn the lights off, and pull the covers over my head and stay there. Come on, Gracie. Or I can choose to live life to the fullest, the best way that I know how. And quite frankly, one of those isn't an option.
There is no handbook, magic powder, or single piece of advice that can help the mind comprehend something like this. Another human being telling you your days are literally numbered. But that's the music Randy is now faced with.
You get your affairs in order for sure. Gracie, come like this way. No, you're gonna get,
Which also includes daily walks with Gracie.
This way. No, now you're going wrong. There we go.
Some better than others.
You're a mess.
And much like the way a well-written song can speak to your soul, let's just say one of Randy's most powerful messages wasn't delivered with a guitar in his hands, but with a keyboard instead.
I've gotten where I don't get on there as often as I used to.
Daryl Rayburn is talking about social media.
We do emergency response.
He says there just isn't a lot of time for that stuff while running a hazardous waste cleanup company in Bossier City. But a little over a year ago, he saw Randy's post.
He just reported that he had stage 4 colon cancer. And I was like, wow, that was quick.
An old buddy he hadn't seen in years. An old buddy who was encouraging others to get their colons checked.
It's eye-opening because, it could be any of us.
Daryl admits it wasn't even on his radar, but something made him read Randy's post that day and make an appointment to see his doctor.
You put it out if you have like a spill in the river.
You can call it the hazardous waste of any man's colon. Doctors found a number of polyps that needed to be removed.
They were precancerous, but they were larger than what he would like to have seen.
If it was something they would call.
And there we were, a year ago, the three of us, Randy, Daryl, and myself, sitting in Randy's living room talking about our colons. You can thank the pandemic for that exciting chat never making air.
It's better than what it would have been if I'd have went 3 more years without going.
Just like Daryl, we'll forever be grateful for reconnecting with an old friend.
She tickles me to death.
A friend who hopes others will make the time to listen to his song
called life.
It's a win-win situation for me, buddy. I mean, it is. If I lived and lucky enough to get to live to be 80 years old, and God sees fit for me to live that long, then I've been blessed with a very long life. But if he comes and gets me next week, then I still win. Anybody knows me, I'm a huge blues fan, so I get to hang out with B.B. King without security going, hey, step back.
It has been a rough year, to say the least, for Randy. His cancer diagnosis. He lost his dad roughly 5 months ago. His sister was in a car crash, which led to other medical issues. And right now, his mom could use your prayers. She's in the hospital after a stroke. And I'll echo Randy's call. Get checked. In 2011, I had a local doctor tell me I was just months from full-blown colon cancer. You talk about scaring the you-know-what out of you. Now I go get to see that doc every 2 or 3 years now. You are invited to the all-new and improved Randy Lambert Cancer Benefit, April 11th. No pandemic's going to keep it down at the Elk Lodge on Preston Avenue in Shreveport. Starts at noon. A host of awesome bands, tons of great food, and Randy would love to meet you.